completely. Now, there is a lot to get into today. We are going to, first of all, get into the newspaper review. And after that, we have some very pivotal discussions. Following that, we'll head to the capital, where we'll have a brief from the FCT. And after that, I'll bring you all the stories that are trending now in the world that you live in. But we begin today with this story, where the governor of Anambra State, Governor Chukwuma Soludo, has insisted that there is no going back on ending the Monday sit-at-home in markets across the state, particularly in Onitsha and in Nnewi. According to Governor Soludo, the state government can no longer tolerate what he called calculated economic sabotage. The governor insists that those still observing the sit-at-home order are sponsored by some elements to promote economic sabotage, and he's emphasized that the closure is a long-term measure aimed at returning economic stability to his state.
These places that become of significant economic interest for the state, for the survival of the state, if you want to transact business there, you cannot just do as you wish. Your activities become central to the survival of the state. And so you can't, if you agree to do business there, I will revoke all the ownership there and you come for a certification. And the terms and conditions must be that you will be open 6 days a week. And if you are not open any day, you must take permission because you are occupying a place of special economic interest. If you don't, I'll take back my shop. We'll revoke your ownership there.
Very interesting. Now, we have been following this story very closely, team, and I think that there's a lot of data and dialogue as well as discourse to be collected in the Eastern trading space. I'll begin with you, Mr. Shomi. Just this morning, we've received the news that Governor Soludo has now ordered 12 more markets in the state of Anambra to actually enforce this sit-at-home order. Today as well, he's also set to meet with the chairman of markets at Asmata. So he's sitting down to dialogue with these people. But we saw in the market, unfortunately, was heavy police presence to enforce this sit-at-home order, as well as some IPOB sympathizers, pushing for this sit-at-home order to be ignored, despite government directives. What can this tell us about what's going on in the East, particularly Onitsha?
We are beginning to see a determination by Anambra State Government to stop the sit-at-home strike. It's an in form of strike, one way or the other. I mean, by a non-state actor instigated by the IPOB. Everyone knows that. But the problem is this. The right of people to move about on Monday to carry out their business activities, depend on whether IPOB will allow them or not. So the government cannot tolerate that situation from a security viewpoint. From an economic viewpoint, there's also the issue of what about VAT, what about other revenue due to the state? I mean, obviously, it will affect the functioning of the state, it will affect the finances and the economy of the state. There's no way how any government will fold their hands and allow that to happen. What about the authority of governance? Where do you leave that? If a non-state actor like IPOB can say, look, everybody don't go to work on Monday, and people complied, and it's been going on for a number of years, of course, there has to be an end to it. So Soludo is taking a very bold step to say, no, enough is enough. If market leaders are colluding with a non-state actor to enforce it, then in this case, we'll close the market and see whether people will not be forced to rethink their position. And it's taking a decisive step to say, yes, it will affect the economy, but there is no way how we will allow this gradual hemorrhaging of the finances of Anambra State through sit-at-home strike. And that is exactly what he's trying to deal with.
Spoken like a true statesman, Mr. Shomi. Now, Etoma, unfortunately, the statistics and the numbers are very alarming. We're seeing, according to financial assessments, that they're losing about 8 billion naira in revenue every Monday that they decide, to sit at home. But the governor is now foregoing this revenue. He's saying, I don't care about the revenue. There's a bigger picture here, like Mr. Shomi mentioned. There are non-state actors controlling the state, and to me, that is more important. And I'll do everything in my power to enforce this.
You see, it's something that you could call his biggest fight so far. Soludo is fighting his biggest fight as a governor of Anambra State. The Onitsha market is reputed to be one of the biggest markets in West Africa that brings in a lot of revenue. And the thing that really, I believe, is he needs to get back is the authority of government from non-state actors. It is so disheartening to see that non-state actors are getting the respect of the people over and above the government. So what legitimacy does he have as a governor if he cannot take back that power? Now, what he has going for him is that those shops belong to the state government. So he can revoke ownership of those shops. That's the trump card he has, and he's playing it very hard. While he's doing that, he's also sitting with IPOB. He's sitting with market leaders. He's doing one thing or the other. So he's using the carrot and the stick approach. At the end of the day, what he wants to achieve is that the people are following the government, not a non-state actor.
Etoma, you know, very well put. As you mentioned, they are non-state actors, but Governor Soludo he's received a lot of criticism, Ibrahim. They have said that this is not the way that you handle conflict of this nature. The Easterners, and rightly so, are very particular about their trade. They don't play about their money. Market. Right. You know what I mean? But now he's now going a step further to say, 12 more markets, I still want you to comply. What measures could the government put in place to sort of mitigate this, as opposed to heavy police presence and this forceful enforcement?
I think it's a paradox, you know, if we say that there are some people criticizing the governor of taking this decisive action, when they cannot also argue against the fact that there has been an order which has crippled the economy to a very reasonable extent. Imagine losing 8 billion naira is on a daily, you know, according to one of the state officials. So it is very sad. So I feel that what the governor is doing is the right way, is to ensure that, yes, we get our acts together, we get our acts right, because by the time we are touting ourselves as when it comes to commercialization, when it comes to businesses, when it comes to commerce, we can always give it to the Southeast. But then it is belying that particular notion, that particular belief, or the kind of image that actually give the people of the Southeast. So it is one thing to say, go back to the market. It's another thing for you to provide adequate security. How much has it talked about when it comes to security provision, ensuring that there is interagency collaboration? You have the vigilante, you have the Nigerian army, you have the Nigerian police deployed. You know, I said it the last time we talked about it, I think about 3 days ago, that it should not just be a one-off thing. It should not be a month thing or a quarter thing. It should be at least a year-long provision of security. So on Monday, we should see massive deployment of police, massive deployment of soldiers, so that, you know, it gives a similitude of militarization of the entire state. With that, it will signal that the government is actually ready to fight the non-state actors. But there are some IPOB sympathizers among them who are saying, no, we are interested in the no going to work on Monday, we have to stay back. But this is not about market alone. It affects schools, it affects the state, what's it called, the workers, the civil servants. So there's a whole lot. So I feel they should come to a round table and see how to better resolve this matter so that there won't be any defiance whatsoever. Absolutely.
Thank you for your valuable input, team. I must say, I'm urging all of us watching back home to see this Onitsha main market conflict not as a fight between rich and poor, or against haves or have-nots, but against state versus non-state actors. We'll take a very short breather, and when we return, it'll be time for the news